Hello and welcome back to another certified Schaefchen video. Today is a very important day in Schaefchen history because today marks the day that we finally bought a Mistra. No, today marks the day that my E90 M3 that some of you might know, it blew up 1.5 years ago, pretty much, bit less than that. You saw it really quickly in Finland, but it was not 100% done yet. It was like at 80%. Today, my E90 M3 is finally back in my garage after, I think it was like 14 months, honestly. After 14 months of my car not being here, we couldn't film any videos, we couldn't do nothing with the car. I was missing it deeply because it is truly, in fact, pretty much one of my favorite cars I've ever owned in my entire life. Today is the day that it's finally back, and it's pretty much completely different since the last time you saw it. Car had a huge makeover, and I'm pretty excited to tell you guys that it's probably not only the most expensive E90 M3 on the market right now on the planet Earth, but also pretty much one of the most powerful E90 M3s. I'm gonna take it to the dyno later, so you guys can actually see that I'm not talking bullshit. But for now, really quick, I think we have to show you the car because it is truly, in fact, probably one of my best looking cars that I have right now. So many.
Ja. Sesam, öffne dich.
Sesam, öffne dich. That was the code word. And under this is not a new 992 GT3S because I still don't get one. Under this is my E90 M3. Really quick before we remove the car cover, I honestly can't wait to show you guys. But the car was wrapped by Sigma Wrapping here in Austria. I told them I'm gonna do promotion for them because honestly, they did such a fantastic work. Mani and me, we looked at the car thoroughly for the last like 2 hours because we cleaned it in every spot, and I have never seen a wrap job so good. So if you ever need your car wrapped, or if you ever need anything similar to wrapping a car, do yourself a favor and go to Sigma Wrapping here in Austria. I think you guys are gonna fucking love it because, Mani, what do you say?
I love it. But
Man, I've actually, the first time I saw it was yesterday.
Yes.
I have not seen this car.
I saw a picture a few days ago.
No, a few weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
And you were like, nobody told me if it looks good or nothing. They did not show me any pictures. It was a really big surprise yesterday when I saw it for the first time. Now I hope it's going to be a big surprise for you guys as well. And we're going to show you all the details because after all, this build of the car right now was around about 50,000 euros. So we spent 50,000 euros to get this car back better and greater with more power ever than it had before. Yeah, let's get this party going. Skal vi Max stå unternehmen?
Ja.
Oder machen wir es gemeinsam?
Ja, das gemeinsam.
Say hello to my lovely E90 M3, probably the most expensive E90 M3 in the market right now. Yeah, I mean, apart from the wrap, the car optically did not really change a lot. We did the wrap and headlights, like I already said. We still have the same wheels, but they are way shinier now than they were because the other mechanic Mani, did a lot of cleaning for the car. The car is pretty much brand new. We have brand new front bumper, we have brand new front fenders because, yeah, you saw that in Finland. The cold fucked them up a little bit, so we had to replace them. Fun fact, it's actually really, really hard to get fenders and the front bumper for the E90 M3s because they are different than the E92 M3 fenders. E92 go until like here, so they are way shorter and way harder to get, which is perfect because you can already imagine how much it costs to get one of those fenders. Those two fenders and the front bumper, that was like 5K. But the most important part that we did and the most expensive part is obviously down here between the hood of the car and the fenders. Oh, and I also have a chrome wheel now, which is it's perfect with the wheels. Yeah, if you look into here, it still looks pretty much the same as before, but let me tell you, it is not the same as before. The engine itself is still 4 liter, so it's not a stroker, because when you go supercharger, it does not really make any difference. But all the internals of the engine are billet machined. We have a sleeve in the pistons now, so if one of the pistons decides to blow up again, we can just change the sleeves, and we don't have to change the whole engine block, which is very cost effective and also time effective. That was pretty much the most expensive part. So I think the engine parts alone were like 25,
something 25K.
Like that, yeah. So that was very, very expensive. We still have the same supercharger below here. It's very nicely hidden, but we have a smaller pulley now, so we should be able to make a little bit more power. I'm not gonna guess, you're gonna see it later in the dyno. Also very important, like the most important key component next to the engine parts is down below here, because we have Cybix control unit. The ECU alone was like 2,000 euros. That basically enables the whole power of the car. So that makes the car do the things that it's gonna do later that no other M3, E90 or E92 can do. We have a very, very nice rev limiter. We have a rolling launch control. We have a normal launch control. We have a flame mode. This basically enables you to do all the small funny things that all the cool cars do. At first, I was not very keen on spending like 2K for ECU, but after seeing all the stuff that it can do, and after Mani telling me what it can do, I think it's probably one of the best investments. The whole fuel system was done completely new because when we did the dyno runs, before we went to Finland, the car was leaning out around the higher RPMs, which means we needed more fuel. The original fuel pump was at its limits, so we have a better one now, and also a new performance fuel rail. So this should give us more fuel, and this should also be able to let us play around with the engine more for those nice flames out the exhaust and also rev limiter, all this stuff. And also nice things now, you can basically see on the computer. Mani told me I don't really know much about the computer stuff, but like you can also now see on the computer how your fuel levels are and stuff. We also have like a knocking sensor now. They did not believe me in the last video, but the car does originally not have a knock sensor.
Yeah.
Now we have one, which
yeah.
is important, so that the car does not blow up.
Das Wichtigste von die Lenkung.
Aha! So, for all of you E90 and E92 guys,
Something's missing here.
something is missing here, yeah. Tell me what is missing. You have 5 seconds to guess. What is missing here? If you state the steering power unit, you are correct, because we got rid of the original steering power unit. Like the most important problem that all the BMW M3 series have with the V8 is that once you do the burnouts, once you go to a racetrack or something, your fucking steering pump just disintegrates. And the fluid spills everywhere, you don't have any steering anymore, which happened to me in Italy. So, Mani, mechanic Mani, got a very smart idea, and he said, why don't we just get rid of the hydraulic steering servo pump and we change it for electric one. So somewhere down beneath here, I now have a steering pump from a 901.2 Cup Porsche, which is very interesting to me. Yeah,
The Porsche cover was not a Marco.
yeah, it was. It is at least like 2% Porsche now.
Exactly.
Yeah, in theory, this should hold a little bit longer than the original one, and it should hopefully not completely blow up. We still have to test that. It was only a small thought of Mani to do it like that. At least you guys know it now. That also was very expensive. The fuel system, by the way, was 4,000. Just so you guys know how much a fucking fuel system costs. And the steering stuff was like 3K. Obviously, they had to make special mountings, and they also had to make special hoses because it's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be over here.
Yeah, but this unit doesn't fit here,
Yeah,
so
it was too big,
Yeah.
so they put it over here. Which is very cool to know. We still have the same exhaust and we did. Oh no, we have the titanium exhaust, but sounds pretty much the same. You're gonna hear it later on the dyno. The rev limiter is the craziest thing you've ever heard an M3 do. Yeah, I hope you guys are happy that the car is back. I can't wait for my first trip. It's gonna happen very, very soon, I think. We are gonna go to the dyno now. We're gonna see what power numbers this car has. And then afterwards, we're gonna go and take this car onto the street, because I have not driven this car as it is with this setup ever. And the last time I drove this car with a significant amount of power was, like I said, like 14 months ago. So I'm a bit nervous, but I think it's gonna be all f***ing right. It looks so beautiful. You can't tell me that this is not a very beautiful looking car. Yeah, so altogether, car was 70k plus 50k, all the engine stuff. We now have 120,000 euro E90 M3. Hat sie mal wieder ausgezahlt. Das Autobahn-Video vor 12 Monaten, 14 Monaten. Yeah, so I see you guys at the dyno, and then afterwards we're gonna teleport back here, and then we're gonna take it for a small little test drive, and I'm gonna show you a little bit all the funny stuff that the car can do now on the streets. So, see you guys in a second. We're at the dyno right now, back where we started a few months ago. As you already heard, mechanic Mani made some changes to the car. So we have an upgraded fuel system, we have an upgraded steering pump, which is not really gonna affect our dyno numbers, but the fuel system is very, very important, and we now have a proper tune in the car. Actually, two proper tunes. One for 98 octane and one for 100 octane. I have to talk outside, it's so loud inside because all the ventilation is already on. And it's actually pretty sunny outside, so that's... What the f*** is going on here? Well, anyway, we will see how much power the car is pushing now in a few dyno runs. After that, we're gonna show you some nice gimmicks that they programmed onto the car, because we now have some very interesting things that a normal E90 M3 should not have, which is gonna be fucking amazing. And I can't wait to see it in person. I'm a bit tired today, but also I'm very, very happy to finally have my E90 M3 back. We have to do one more thing though, because the steering pump failed, so we're gonna have to change that later after the dyno run really quick. Typical M3 problem. I don't know how the f that happened now, but yeah, Mani has one spare steering pump, which we're gonna change later, and then we're gonna see what's going on. Hearing this car is always so fucking amazing. Also, got some nice new lights in the front. The car looks so fucking good now. I mean, look at this. I'm so happy that it's finally back running how it's supposed to, and hopefully now it's pretty much indestructible. I don't want to jinx it, but this engine at least should be able of holding more than 1000 horsepower, which is fucking amazing. So yeah, we're gonna do the first little runs today. It's on 98 octane, so we're in the lowest boost setting possible, or like lowest stage, stage 1 of the car. Gonna see how much horsepower it makes, honestly. We all really don't know. They did a run in stage 2 already. I'm gonna tell you later how much it did, but that was on 100 octane, which we don't have today because the gas station is closed. So yeah, we're gonna have to do it in stage 1. It's still gonna sound pretty fucking good, and it's still gonna put down a quite reasonable amount of horsepower. It's gonna be amazing. He's wearing headphones so that he can hear if the engine is knocking, which I don't think I've ever seen before in my entire life. First run on stage 1 with 98 octane. Let's see how much power it's pushing out now. Let's see how the car sounds. It's gonna sound fantastic, I think. Das merkst du richtig, Alter. No boost map. 735. Oh no boost. This guy. Okay, we're ready for the flames now, which is the most important part. Bro, this shit is insane. You feel in the face, once it hits ref limiter, you feel the shockwave, like the explosion. You feel it in your whole body if you're staying behind the car. Oh, gotta go back quick. Are burning so fucking much. I don't think I've ever seen an M3 throw such fucking huge flames, and we haven't even tried the rolling launch control yet, which is going to be very fucking interesting. But we need the car to cool down, and we need to relax our eyes a little bit because we have probably carbon monoxide poisoning by now. The fucking ref limiter. I don't know if you guys understand me when I'm in there because everything is so loud, but the ref limiter is pretty much the most insane thing I've ever heard and felt in my entire life. You feel it throughout your whole body. It's so fucking hard to describe. You have to feel it in person. But that is insane. I'm so happy. I literally have goosebumps on my entire fucking body right now. Last but not least, we're gonna try the rolling launch control, which I'm a bit nervous for. I don't think I've ever seen an M3 E90 have rolling launch control. Mani has already said it's insane. It sounds like the car is falling apart, which is exactly what we want. So, let's see. That's so fucking sick. I can't wait to try this in person. We're gonna drive this car home now, and then we're gonna take it for the first little test run. I haven't driven this car with proper power since 1.5 years, so it's gonna be a very cool and very emotional moment for me. Yeah, you saw it in the dyno, 98 octane. In the lowest setting, we had 730 horsepower, which is a very respectable number. So with 100 octane, probably this car should have around 750, I think. So 750 horsepower, which is probably one of the highest horsepower M3 E90 out there. I don't think there's pretty much anything with more power except for maybe like a twin turbo one or something. Yeah. But yeah, I am very, very happy with how this shit turned out. Can't wait to drive it. So let's trail it back home and see how it goes. Also, I want to test the rolling anti-lag, rolling launch control.
Yeah.
The E90 is officially fucking back, ladies and gentlemen. I can't describe it. Okay, we are back in the workshop, in Mani's workshop. We need to change the steering pump really quick because it failed. Was da mal geil ist, Jungs?
Darfst du mal die Servopumpen nach?
We have no idea why it failed on the dyno, but it failed for some reason. We're gonna change it and then hope it's never gonna fail again in its entire life. Let's just say it was a faulty one from the start. Der Mani genießt es wieder mal. Draußen ist.
So ein Scheiß. Die ist dead.
Luckily, we have a spare one. So that's a 991.2 cup steering pump. It's dead, as you can see in the video. So we are gonna swap it out for another 991.2 cup pump. We don't really know why it died. Yeah, we're just gonna pray that the new one lasts a bit longer.
Die schaut ein bisschen sauber aus.
Okay, ist die neue geht. So, old steering pump out, new steering pump in, and let's cross our fingers that it's gonna last a lifetime, because those E90s, they eat through steering pumps like nothing else. We upgraded it to electric one, but it still failed. I have no idea why, don't ask me. Alright, welcome back. Time for the first little ride out of my E90 M3. I'm a bit nervous, I hope it is how it used to be, because that was just such a fucking amazing car to drive. Feels like home in here. Last time I drove it was in Finland, but that was in spikes and with like 500 horsepower. 230 less than we have right now. Very emotional moment. Very emotional moment. Also, the steering pump now works again, so that's pretty great. This car is just such a great car to drive. I think I'm driving in map 1 right now. Yeah, map 1. On map 2, it's very aggressive on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Mani tried it yesterday. He said if you only look at the gas pedal, the car just gives full speed, which is good. It's like the M mode, which obviously you don't have that anymore with the new Cybex control unit.
Yeah.
But you can have like 20 different maps on the Cybex. It's insane.
Yeah. Let's warm it up and then we change it to the map 2.
Warm it up and then we test around.
Yes, sir.
The car just sounds so good. German engineered V8 is just amazing.
Yeah.
In my mind, this car is kind of like a modern version of a hot rod. So like those cars that you had in the 60s, US cars. This is like the German modern version of a hot rod, in my opinion. It's like the modern version hot rod for like a noble society.
And it drives so nice with the steering and everything. I like it.
Oh, I can't wait to go drifting again. Next video we're gonna go drift in the Italian mountains just to celebrate this car being back. Supercharger sound, just everything. Everything is perfect about this car. Fun fact. Today we have a little flashback because today they have the Alpenrally here in Kitzbühel. I don't know if all the cars are here, but we're gonna see in a second, I guess. I'm in map 2 right now. It's so fucking aggressive. Wo geht eigentlich?
Na, du bist keiner.
Das ist wirklich keiner. Ja, das ist früh.
Alpenrally,
Das war jetzt witzig gewesen zu crashen ein bisschen.
Ja, haben sehr gute Angebote, hat er unglaublich.
Aber ich der
Servus!
für das Geld kauft man sich wohl ein gescheites Auto, oder?
Ja, das ist ein Ausgang. What the fuck, Alter?
Hat er das Video schon gesehen, was kostet oder was?
Ich hab's mal gerade.
Also, Time Travel is real.
Time travel is real.
Ja.
Okay, we just found out how the rolling launch control works and it's the fucking coolest thing ever.
Oh, das geht saftig gut, Alter. Alter, Weizen. Das ist geil. Das ist
Das ist
gescheit.
ultra geil, Alter.
Aber kannst du das aus Bitlimit da machen?
Ja. Dann fahren wir so durch die Stadt.
Okay, passt.
Yeah, it works as a pit limiter as well. Now every time when we're on the racetrack and you're not allowed to drive fast in the Boxengasse,
Yeah.
or like in the city where you're like 50 kilometers, all you have to do is go into second gear, 50 kilometers per hour. Mega geil.
Ja. Oh, Begrenze ist geil.
Der Begrenzer ist einfach
Begrenze
alles.
ist
Der
Rass.
Begrenzer ist alles. Ah, ich liebe das Auto, wirklich.
Danke, Mani.
Danke, Manni, wirklich.
Ja.
But I think I need to do it at high RPMs. We're gonna try it again
Yeah.
a little bit later. That was
Oh.
like 3,500 RPM. I think a real pit limiter is like 5,000. Fun fact, 991.1 GT3 RSs have a pit limiter for factory. But the 991.2 that I have doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad because that's a very nice gimmick to have.
Ja.
Let's try it again really quick with like 5,000 RPM.
Boah.
Das macht oben raus erst richtig Sinn. Siehst du? Oh, das ist
So geil. Das ist ein geiles Gimmick.
Car drives so good.
Boah. Boah. Ja, der ruft schon gescheit um, Alter.
Begrenzer ist so fucking geil, Alter.
Cool.
We are back at my garage. My steering pump is gone again. So that's the second pump. We even have some oil down here. So the theory is that my old steering rack, which is down below here, we're gonna change that before the next video, I think. The issue was in our heads that the old steering rack still had some metal parts inside and it just kept pushing those through the new steering pumps. So these failed and then yeah, you don't have the steering anymore after some time. It's a minor issue, but it's very expensive again. So E90 ownership really is amazing. Let's hope that this fixes it forever. We're gonna see how that goes, I guess. Mani is very happy about that again.
Ich will einfach nur haben. Ich will einfach seit 3 Stunden will ich einfach haben. Und der so, jetzt machen wir Pausen aus den Aufnahmen noch.
Ja, aber gut, dass wir es gemacht haben, weil sonst hätten wir es nicht aufgefallen. By the way, also we have Vincent
Hello.
here
Schaut mal, ein GT3, so den kannst du filmen.
with probably one of the nicest spec GT3 RSs I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a bit dirty because he actually drives his cars. Respect to Vincent. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm happy that the car is back. I was a bit happier about an hour ago, but still. Yeah, see you guys in the next video, I guess.